worked 7 years in the DA's office. I was hired by George Gascon. When Chesa took over, he promoted me to the homicide unit. And I want to focus my comments, though. I'm sure you've heard why a lot of the stories of why what led up to me leaving. But I want to focus my comments on the Chinese community in particular, and the greater Asian community in San Francisco. And I think there are a number of really important things to discuss. Chesa has clearly not made it a priority to impose consequences on those who commit hate crimes against the Asian community. And as the hate crimes prosecutor for almost 2 years under George Gascon, I know that at times it's very challenging to charge a hate crime. Even when you truly believe that that's what's going on, you have to have evidence of the motive. But regardless of whether you charge a hate crime or not, because that's just an enhancement to the punishment, you can still move forward with, vigorous prosecution and make sure that you're holding, these attackers accountable. And I think he's made it clear that he's not going to do that, right? As we've seen, these men who, in particular, who have committed these assaults on Asian Americans have gotten diversion, they've gotten dismissals, and none of them are walking away with any jail time. Most of them are not walking away with felonies. They are receiving the same benefits as somebody who goes and steals from Walgreens, right? Even though they are terrorizing, particularly the elderly Asian American community. And so I think that Chesa has spent a lot of time recently trying to reach out, to Asian American voters by trying to represent himself as somebody who truly cares about your community and your residents. But again, I truly believe that that's just simply to try and beat this recall and get votes.
首先就講幾樣嘢先啦。咁其實咧好多，即係我諗咧好多我以前香港廉政公署做嘅，咁好多人咧都唔知道其實地檢官咧個權力係好大嘅。譬如係告唔告一個罪犯咧，係用咩嘢罪名告佢啦，可以要求法庭係即係關押住個犯啦。同埋咧就可以俾啲認罪協議俾啲犯嘅。咁講翻我自己我單 case 咧，即係 Jason Cooter 嗰單 case。頭先咪話我有個律師寫封信俾佢，就話叫佢退出叫地檢官退出呢一個調查啦，因為發覺佢同埋個白人咧係有關聯咧，同埋係佢嘅支持者。咁地檢官由頭到尾咧都冇覆翻過我嘅律師啊，講緊書面、電話同埋寫信，冇覆翻佢我嘅律師同埋我嘅。咁其實咧，我攞簽名嗰陣咧，除咗呢個白人 Jason Cooter 之外，仲有其他人出嚟搞我嘅。喺4月同埋5月，我地檢官佢個有個調查員咧係曾經係 interview 過我嘅。咁我亦都講晒，即係除咗 Jason Cooter 單 case 啊，我講晒其他人啊，嗰一班人係點樣係出嚟搞我啊，出嚟派其他一啲 flyers 啊，講晒好詳盡。我話我俾埋其他幾個證人嗰啲電話聯絡方法，跟住咧個調查即係地檢署嘅調查員啦，高級調查主任啦，攞晒啲資料，跟住咧。佢 interview 完我之後咧，一個禮拜我電郵佢，我話麻煩你你 interview 完我可唔可以俾單 case number 我啊？冇覆我6月嗰陣，跟住7月我再電郵俾佢1個月後，我話你可唔可以俾個 case number 我？已經俾晒 detail 你，我亦都講晒俾成個詳情俾你聽，我所有嘅證人電話聯絡方法俾晒，冇覆我。即係講緊 office 嗰個調查員啦。
咁但係呢個博徹思，因為佢係為咗呢個叫做social justice 啊，佢嗰啲即係佢嗰啲思想咧係話，因為嗰啲人係窮，佢哋唔會控告佢哋。但係其實嗰啲人真係咪窮咧？我哋唔知嘅。 我哋冇做到呢啲咁嘅調查，佢就係一個Brooke Jenkins 講，佢係個 blanket policy 嘅一個 blanket policy， 就係話全部都放晒，所以呢個係好大問題。呢個係第一次我係好唔滿意博徹思嘅做法啦，因為係對我哋本人係直接有影響嘅，因為我哋幫佢拉過。我哋即係嗰啲團隊係幫佢拉嗰啲人，佢哋知道我哋嘅，我哋經常都係有上 social media 或者上電視，所以人哋見到我哋啲面都知道係嘅，我哋係有一個好大嘅 target 喺我哋嘅背後嘅，所以其實對我哋都係好危險嘅。咁另外咧都有好幾多單案，有一次響Wells Fargo 銀行咧，響都板街及 Broadway 街咧。有個好高大個白人咧，佢係一拳咁打嗰個 security guard 嘅。咁個 security guard 係一個係矮細嘅亞洲人啦。咁佢同我講，佢話呢個人係打咗我3次啦，又踢過我，又打過我。咁啊，佢第4次咧係捉咗佢㗎啦。捉咗佢之後咧，阿博徹思放佢出嚟。就又冇審又冇問，乜都冇，就咁放咗佢出嚟。咁啊，即係我覺得我哋作為壞人嘅話咧，我哋點解會可以俾人打、俾人踢、俾人咁樣對我哋？而且我哋有個檢控官，佢嘅職責咧就係保護我哋。點解佢唔保護我哋？佢就放晒嗰啲人出嚟咧，變咗我哋咧就係繼續係俾人打、俾人踢、俾人殺。呢啲係好即係好震驚我哋嘅咯。我哋係唔應該接受呢啲咁嘅。
So I remember about in April of 2021 being asked to chair this recall campaign, Safer SF Without Boudin. And at the time, it was after many months of watching Asian violence, violence perpetuated against Asians, on social media and on TV, and it being repeated again and again. And a month before that, it was around St. Patrick's Day, and I was at Carol Ito and Julie's house having St. Patrick's Day dinner with Julie Sue, and we were waiting for the birth of my granddaughter. And another news report came on about an Asian grandma being beaten up, and I just thought to myself, and we were talking about how if there's anything that we can do, it is up to us as a community to rise up and make sure that we protect our community. And it's not even just, Asians. It's San Francisco as a whole. It's the world as a whole, okay? We have to do better. And so when I was asked in April, I said yes, just remembering all the emotions and everything that had happened. And, I remember, seeing the Asian grandfather who was on a stroller being kicked over and thinking, oh my God, that's just awful. Then, you watch the video of Visha being kicked over and dying, months later. And then I remember reading about Troy McAllister, who had been let out of jail early, before he had served enough time, before he had enough to go through diversion programs, before he had enough time to go through rehabilitation. And because he had been let out before he was able to go through these programs, he was released and committed more felonies. And then, on that New Year's Eve day, he drunken drivingly killed Elizabeth Platt and Hanako Abe. And those were deaths that could have been prevented had we had a district attorney who knew what he was doing and did not interfere with a process that was always already going along. Because in doing that, he not only ended those two women's lives, he also ended Troy McAllister's life. Because, now he has double homicide against him. And I doubt if he will be able to get out anytime soon. We come to you partially, because we understand how important our community is in this vote. We also, as a Chinese woman, a mother, a grandmother, I don't want my granddaughter growing up in a city like this.
所以说，就是这种事情啊，这么多仇恨的罪案哈，这过往2年是突然间增加了很多，很多是由于惯犯啊，或是 做出来的，这些事情完全可以避免的，像各位刚刚之前说的，那我们觉得就是那个罪案改革是一个方面，但是同时我们要注意保护我们这个亚裔的弱势团体，很多亚裔的老人无辜的被残害、伤害、强奸。这种事情是令人发指的，而这一些事情都可以避免的。你想想看，如果这些事情如果真的发生在我们身边，那我们是不是有责任去对这个事情说停止？因为你看看访谷区有2宗，对吧？除了那个黄婆婆之后，然后前几个月还有一个老人家遭强奸，还有 Excelsior 有一个老人家76岁遭强奸，黄石公所的多少人，这些都是数不尽的。我们做事情要去到一个地步，就是说我们要有勇气，出来就是说对这种事情说 no。我们要给我们江东父老一个说法。他们都在等着6月7号的到来。